Dev Kotak is joining us live from Mumbai with the latest updates on this. Dev, we understand that Uddhav Thackeray has called for a meeting today with all Shiv Sena MLAs, and it looks like about 10 to 12 MLAs could skip that meeting today.
Yes, absolutely. Like you rightly mentioned, the Maharashtra CM, after yesterday's results, which were highly disappointing for the MVA government, he's definitely miffed at the fact, especially given, given the main point that there is massive cross voting that took place and they did not get the kind of desired votes as expected. So, he has called for a meeting with all the other MLAs who are in favor and are supporting, the MVA government and also the Sena at between 11 and 11:30 a.m. at his official residence, the Varsha Bungalow in Malabar Hill area of South Mumbai. But also, like you said, that Eknath Shinde, a very senior Shiv Sena leader and a party functionary, has gone incognito since yesterday. Him along with another 12 MLAs are believed to be in a hotel in Surat in Gujarat. And the kind of communication that has taken place, we don't have much details about that, but they have definitely been in touch with the Bharatiya Janata Party. So this, of course, we cannot say for sure or as a matter of fact that this is the handiwork of BJP. However, yesterday's results are fairly disappointing and the MVA government seems to be very upset about it. The 10 seats that were up for grabs, 50% of those seats, which is 5 seats, was swept away by the BJP, and the remaining 5 were distributed between the three political parties that currently run the Maharashtra government. Congress managing 1 seat, and Shiv Sena and the Nationalist Congress Party (NCP) managing 2 each. So, Akshita, these are the kind of details that we have for now. And like I mentioned, that Eknath Shinde is believed to be, in Gujarat in a hotel. So,
yeah.
As and when more details trickle in, we will keep bringing updates to you later during the day.
Dave, stay with me. I just want to break down for our viewers what's happened so far. It started yesterday, the Legislative Council elections in Maharashtra. What came as a huge disappointment for the Shiv Sena was that it was clear there was cross-voting. And now what's been essentially clear is that senior Shiv Sena leader Eknath Shinde perhaps led a rebellion. There were about 20 votes that didn't go in favor of Shiv Sena, which led to all the speculation that there was cross-voting. Soon after that, the Shiv Sena leadership wasn't able to establish contact with Mr. Eknath Shinde, and with about 10 to 12 MLAs is what we're hearing. Now, this morning, the information we have is that Shinde, along with the support of about 10 to 12 MLAs, so it looks like he's staged this entire rebellion and this revolt. They're camping right now in a resort in Surat. On the right of your screens, outside the resort, you see the kind of security that's been put up. Now, after all this, Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray has called for a meeting with all MLAs today at his official residence. So what happens post this? In that particular meeting, if there are MLAs who don't turn up, that will pretty much confirm India Today's newsbreak that there is trouble right now for the Maha Vikas Aghadi, that the numbers are not in their favor. 12 MLAs out will mean trouble for the Maha Vikas Aghadi. It will mean that perhaps they're a minority. So that's why the BJP is also tracking this very closely. There's, of course, endless speculation that this is another step in Operation Kamal, that the BJP is actually behind this, considering the fact that Eknath Shinde, along with the handful of Shiv Sena MLAs, are all camped currently in BJP-ruled Gujarat. So start the resort politics. All of, in fact, the poaching, the lobbying has clearly kicked off all over again in Maharashtra. This is a government that's never been stable, and it continues to be unstable right now with the smallest of threats. A senior leader like Eknath Shinde saying enough is enough, choosing to dump the party. And that by itself sends across a very, very strong message for the rest of the Shiv Sena leadership as well, Dave. The fact that Eknath Shinde, someone who's such a senior leader, has chosen to revolt against the party leadership will lead to speculation that there's a lot of distrust, there's a lot of dissatisfaction within the party, and perhaps more MLAs could choose to dump Uddhav Thackeray.
Yes, we could potentially see that also happening, where they will, leave the kind of association that they've had with Uddhav Thackeray, Shiv Sena, or with the MVA government in any way, because like you rightly mentioned, that there is heavy distrust and people don't have confidence and faith in the MVA government any longer. So, this is just a beginning. This is just the start of trouble brewing in the MVA camp, and more importantly, Shiv Sena. So yesterday's result, a highly disappointing one for the MVA government, like I mentioned previously as well, has sort of sent shockwaves, and it has sent, the stakeholders of the MVA government into a huddle, which is also why they're exactly trying to discuss over the fact that what really went wrong, who engaged in cross-voting, before they come out with any kind of names in terms of who did not promise the Shiv Sena loyalty. They want to be absolutely sure in terms of who those MLAs were, who did not, who engaged in distrustful activities. So these are the kind of issues that will come up in all likelihood at the 11 a.m. meeting at the CM's residence today. So he is definitely upset about the fact especially the people who are supposed to be on his side have suddenly resorted to cross-voting and have moved, changed sides and gone on to the other camp. So this definitely shows that there is a seething sense of anger also amongst the people who engaged or resorted to cross-voting in a true sense. But like I said, that before they're completely sure, they will have the meeting first to determine and understand and form a strategy, because the next big thing we can expect is the 2024 Maharashtra polls. So, to face a humiliating defeat after ruling a full 5 year is something that they will not want to give up easily. But like I said, that this is a major point of concern, and it is a very worrisome affair given the kind of unsatisfactory or dissatisfactory results that the MVA government got. So also one more thing we need to try and understand is that the expected votes were 64, they ended up getting 55. So this difference of 9 is definitely hurting them, and it is compelling them to think really hard and re-strategize and put in place a strong plan of action so that such kind of incidents are not repeated ever again in the future. So these are the kind of details and the kind of arguments that I'd like to bring to you, Akshita, at this point in time, also for our viewers, to make them understand and give them a sense of the situation.